got here is...
Richard Starkey on 1FM. Hello, good morning. This is the 1FM breakfast show. Is it 6 a.m?
Yes, it is.
Yes, is it? Yeah. Go on, introduce yourself. We've got Rod Mackenzie here and Sybil Roscoe. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Here's
Good
Madonna.
morning.
Yeah, here again. It's quite good actually because it's coming up to 4 minutes after 6, isn't it? Well, that faded out quickly. Yes, there we go. Madonna and Open Your Heart. Sybil says good morning by reading her weather. Here she goes. Now turn the mic up first. There you go.
Good morning, everybody. Here we are then, here's the weather. Looking at the satellite picture, still lots of cloud over the country at the moment. We are getting holes appearing at the moment over the eastern part of England and Scotland, and these are going to extend to other places during the day. So we have got a definite improvement on yesterday. Northern and western parts of Scotland, well, I'm afraid you are going to be fairly cloudy, and there will be some showery rain, but there will...
In a clipboard.
This paper, yes, please, let's have a clipboard to do the job properly. Sorry about
It's good
that,
actually. She's
folks.
carrying on now actually. Yeah. Here
I'll
she
be
is.
with you in a minute. So at least there is a little bit of better news. Now we've got a chance of a shower in some other parts of the country today, more particularly down the western coast, but they are going to be few and far between, with most places staying dry, especially the eastern coast. In the south and in the east there's going to be a little bit more sunshine around, and in fact it is quite a nice start to the morning in the southern counties. Lows around 16, that's 61. The high today gets up to 20.
Thank you.
That's 68.
I think that mic sounds a bit weird. Does it? Well, I think mine is. What's wrong with this? Doesn't it? Anyone?
It's you.
Well, I'd turn that down, I'm fine, but turn that back up, and I don't know why I'm sounding like this. Anyway, this is New Order at 6:06.
Sideways to the sun, keep my thoughts.
They're having great trouble there deciphering my news here. That was a new single by New Order. What's that called, Rob? What's that new single called? It's what we're living on now.
New old.
What's it called? The Planet.
Oh, the New Order.
Yeah, what's the song called though? The Planet. Not Earth.
No, isn't it?
World. 10 after 6 is D Room.
We'll live and learn. I have to pretend you're the best thing. You're the best thing.
You're the Best Thing by D Ream. This is the 1FM Breakfast Show. 13 minutes after 6. We say good morning to Rob Mackenzie. He's reading the latest news when he picks the microphone up. Morning, Rob.
Good morning, everybody. A new report says men are more interested in keeping their body in shape. Apparently, men used to worry about money and power, and dieting was seen as wimpish. Now, more men are on diets than women. What's that, Richard? Oh. Parts of St. Louis are under several feet of water after flood barriers gave way. The Mississippi is now at a record level, more than 47 feet above normal. Many people in Britain don't know basic first aid. The St. John's Ambulance Survey last year says there are alarming levels of ignorance dealing with everyday injuries, causing many people problems. Some ideas are downright dangerous, like rubbing salt into the wound where someone has their arm cut off by a blunted instrument. Finally, Age Concern has done a survey of people who they would like to be when they get old. Most wanted to be like the Queen Mum or Jimmy Savile, but who don't you want to be like? In the I Don't Want to Be chart, John Major and Lady Thatcher, top of the unpot. Is Victor Meldrew of One Foot in the Grave? That's the news on 1FM.
I think you read the wrong news. That's the long news. You're supposed to read the other side, which is just the headlines. Do it again, Rod. And anyway, it's 6:15, second 100. The Swan. What year is this from then, Rod?
1981.
What?
1981.
That's right, yeah. What's it called?
Dealing with her.
No, Love Plus One.
Plus one.
Love Plus One.
Oh, love. Right.
It's 6:18. This is it, the thing. Put my headphones. Yeah, well, there we go. People, don't want that one. Right. Who's on the line? Hello?
Hello?
Morning?
Morning.
Anyone with an accent?
Pardon?
Pardon? Accent? No? I'm trying to
Well,
queue
I've
up the
got a bit of
records here.
one.
No, there we go. So... Hold on. Speak then. Speak, Rod, fill in some time.
Most people, you know, would like to be like the Queen.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Savile.
Hey? Pardon? Right. Hello, good morning. Who's there? Hello?
Hello?
Right, who's this then?
Pat Starkey.
Hello, where you coming from? Any relation of me?
Pardon?
Any relation of me?
I might be, yeah.
There, you pulling our legs.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, right, where you from?
Northumberland.
Northumberland, is it? Go on, what do you think of Northumberland, Rod? Rod?
I'm sorry?
What do you think of Northumberland?
The last week of Northumberland.
Yeah.
Well, it's north of the country.
Oh. Go on, ask Pat what you think. What she thinks.
What do you think of Northumberland?
What do you think the song is?
Oh, the song.
Yeah.
I think it's Pandora's Box by OMD.
Ah, interesting choice. Well, why do you think that then?
Because when you open the box, evil spirits come out.
Yeah.
Oh.
God, you got it right. Jesus.
Oh, good.
God, here comes the claps. Anyway, cheer.
Thanks.
Cheer for her. God. What should we send her in the post, Rod? Season ticket for Coventry City for next season.
Yeah,
Season ticket for Coventry City, yeah.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, see you, Pat. Well done.
Fine, thanks.
That's Pandora's Box by OMD, won by Pat Starkey from Northumberland. Because it's like quite obvious. We'll have another one at about 8:15. Ring 07163374343. What's the number, Rod? Look at the mic, we can't hear you.
5432
That's it, something like that. Right, Steve Wright did this, the Shakademus thing, but we're going to do it sort of live because Mikey did it before. So I'm going to say it, and then Rod and Sybil are going to do an impression of it when Sybil pays attention. So, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Listen, can you hear on the microphone?
Can do, yeah.
No, you can't. No, headphones, you haven't got them on.
I haven't got them on, no.
Right, here it comes. Shakademus and can of spray paint. Come on. Most impressive, excellent. Do it again through the song. Come on. It's 6:25. 1FM. Depeche Mode. Depeche Mode and Walking in My Shoes, that's the last single, but Sybil's coming over now to read the weather. When I say the weather, of course I mean the travel. She's asking me... No, travel. It's on the other side. What's the time? coming up to 29 minutes now after 6. Palaver on a... What's the date today? Date? No, that
23rd.
We haven't done that one before. Did you? You didn't. You did the weather before. 29 minutes now after 6. Here's Sybil with the weather. Trouble
with my clipper. Right, now we've got improvements on the A921 St Clair Street in Kilcuddy. They mean temporary traffic lines and probable delays. There are diversions signed for you. In Mid Glamorgan, roadworks north of Bridgend mean lane closures on the A4 to
4064.
4064. It's this secretary's printer. In Pontyryl, near to Langiglow. Why do they give me these, I ask you? In Staffordshire, we've got roadworks above the M6 at junction 10. That's a turning for Wolverhampton and Warsaw.
Morning 30.
Lenny Kravitz, you're going to go my way. Not completely new, but quite new anyway. This is 1FM, late for the news. It's now 6:33. With the latest news, here comes Rob Mackenzie.
Richard. I'm Calvin Skunk from Scrap It Rabbit and Run Insurance Company.
Wrong one.
Do you have another record and do it again?
Yeah.
Oh no, we might as well carry on.
No, I wanted it rocked.
Oh, we haven't got one queued up. Right.
Well, let's carry on then.
Alright,
Sorry.
carry on. Anyway, here's
There we
Rob with the news.
Am I
Yeah.
Okay, Rod? Okay, Richard?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
A new report says men are more interested... Let's start again. This is the news now, isn't it? Right. A new report says men are more interested in keeping their body in shape. Apparently men used to worry about money and power, and dieting was seen as wimpish. Now, more men are on diets than women. Parts of St. Louis are under several feet of water after a flood barriers gave way. The Mississippi is now at record level, more than 47 feet above normal. Many people in Britain don't know basic first aid. A St. John ambulance survey last year says there are alarming levels of ignorance dealing with everyday injuries, causing many people problems. Some ideas are downright dangerous, like rubbing salt into the wound where someone has their arm cut off by a blunted instrument. Finally, Age Concern has done a survey of people who would like to be what they would like to be when they get old. Most want to be like the Queen Mum or Jimmy Savile. But who don't you want to be like? In the Don't Wanna Be chart, John Major and Lady Thatcher top of the unpops. So is Victor Meldrew of One Foot in the Grave. That's the news on 1FM.
Do you want to be like the Queen Mum, Rod?
I sure do, boy.
Do you? Can do the impression of the Queen Mum or Victor Meldrew? One or the other.
Oh, hello, how are you?
That's good. To the echo microphone if you want. Can you do that? Can you hear Rod playing the piano? I shouldn't eat your cooks, there's no one there. That's good actually, Rod, do more of that. This is Breakfast Show. And here's Sybil as she closes the door. Hello?
Hello, hello, hello.
That's it.
Hello.
Sybil?
When it rains, it rains, it rains.
They're in time with the music. Microphone. Losing the microphone. Okay, here we go. It's, weather at 21 before 7 now.
Looking at the satellite picture, still lots of cloud over the country at the moment. We are getting holes appearing at the moment over the eastern part of England and Scotland, and these are going to extend to other places during the day. So we have got a definite improvement on yesterday. Now looking through northern and western parts of Scotland, well, I'm afraid you are going to be fairly cloudy there, and there will be some showery rain, but there won't be anywhere near as many showers as we thought yesterday. So at least there is a little bit of better news. Now, we've got a chance of a shower in some other parts of the country today, more particularly down the western coast, but they are going to be few and far between, with most places staying dry, especially the eastern coast. In the south and in the east there's going to be a little bit more sunshine around. And in fact it is quite a nice start to the morning. In the southern counties, lows around 16, that's 61. The high today gets up to 20,
What does
that's
that mean?
68.
What does 1661 mean?
Tell you. I only read it.
I wonder who wrote that there. Some half-wit, no doubt. Confession now at 19 before 7, and followed by, as usual, whether they're going to be forgiven or not. Right. Dear Father Mayo, these are like addressed to Simon. My confession dates back to the days of... Is anyone listening to this? Rod and Sybil? You've got to listen, because you've got to forgive after this. My confession dates back to the days of decimalisation, when I was only a wee young lad. Being a very inquisitive and daft child, I did what everyone of my age would have done with a new 2p piece. I swallowed it. After the initial panic of turning blue and the apparent lack of breath, I calmed myself down and decided to seek help. I rushed home and told my mother, who insisted on a trip to the local hospital. Sitting in the waiting room with children with saucepans on their heads and buttons stuck up their nose, just the usual, quite normal day at Sunderland General Hospital, I awaited my fate. Pardon? A shepherd's pie again. After what seemed hours, I was taken into a room with more gadgets than the Starship Enterprise and asked to undress and lie on the table. Don't worry, son, I'm only giving you an x-ray, explained the doctor. He won't hurt a bit and is completely safe, he said as he hurried behind the lead wall. A few minutes later he announced what I already knew. You've swallowed a 2p piece. Amazing, I thought. What will we have to do? Asked my worried mother. No surgery is required, the doctor replied. Just let nature take its course. It wasn't until I got home that I was uninformed that what I meant. From then on I had to do the obvious in a bucket until the 2p piece was found, a job my mother thought best suited to Dad. For nearly 2 weeks he searched the contents of the bucket, sometimes twice a day, until the 2p was finally discovered, much to his relief. Now, after all these years, I've decided to confess all. I've never had the heart or guts to come clean and admit that I had found the 2p on the same day I returned from the hospital and decided to plant the 2p in the bucket when I could see Dad had had enough. Can you forgive me for this dreadful deed? Will my dad forgive me? Will the Royal Mint forgive me? Please end my suffering, as I can't look at a 2p piece without filling with guilt. Yours owning-uppingly, Gary, aged 25 3/4. Oh, it's sad. I think it's just
Isn't that sad?
harmless prank.
Oh, just, yes. Of
Yeah,
course,
harmless
just
prank,
a
yeah.
No, you don't deserve to suffer like you've been suffering.
So he's forgiven.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rod forgives him.
Yeah.
What about Sybil? Sybil forgives him too. God,
I shall send you.
Sybil usually takes ages. There you go.
Is it within order to send in 2p?
Pardon?
Can I send in 2p?
Send 2p if you want. There's no need. No, this is the Spin Doctors, by the way. Song, the new single by the Spin Doctors. That's called Little Miss Can't Be Wrong, followed by Utah Saints at 14 before 7. If the levels go completely wonky, then it's just me, my technical incapability showing through, because I've just been fiddling around with the wires to change around the okay? Yeah, there you go. Utah Saints, headlines. Utah Saints and I want you at 12 before 7 o'clock. This is 1FM. what's the time? 12 before 7, and here comes Rob Mackenzie with the headlines, with the proper microphone. And hold that one, and I'll hold that one. Try and read it quite quickly though, with echo.
A report says men are more interested.
Sorry, carry on.
A report says men are more interested in keeping their body in shape. Now more men are on the diets than women, which were formerly seen as wimpish. The Mississippi River is now at a record high, causing major floods in St. Louis. It is 47 feet above normal. Many people don't know basic first aid. Dealing with everyday injuries cause many people problems. A recent survey says that most people would like to be like the Queen, Mum, or Jimmy Savile when they get old. The Don't Want to Be chart includes Victor Meldrew, Lady Thatcher and John Major. Finally, a new soap is to hit our television screens. It's called Abomination Street. It's set in Coventry and will feature many scenes of people getting their heads kicked in by rugby types after dark outside nightclubs. That's the headline news of 1FM.
Thank you, well queued up record there. It's, what's it, 11 now before 7.
You should have seen by the look in my eyes. I just wanna keep on loving you.
Great song that is, love that. Love it to death. Sing along with it, Rod. Put hold on thing and you can sing it.
425 birds.
Sing.
Baked in a fire. When the fire was open, the birds began to sing. It was until they went to
Oh, the song's finishing now. Easy solution, just to turn him down, see? She's cracking up, she's got to read the travel news. At,
I'll never make it.
what is it, 7 before 7?
Now, we've got some improvements on the A921 St Clair Street in Kilcobby. They mean temporary traffic lines and probable delays. There are diversions signed for you in Mid Glamorgan, and roadworks north of Bridgend mean lane closures on the A4 to 406 in Pontyrill, near to Lanzino. In Staffordshire, we've got roadworks above the M6 at junction 10. That's the turnings for Wolverhampton and Walsall. The A11 is closed in both directions after an accident. Southeast of Cambridge, repairs to the westbound M22 in Antrim have resulted in single-lane traffic to the west of Randallstown and about 20 miles further west at Linlithgow. I'll have to take some Welsh lessons. A7 and 6 remains closed after an accident. Diversions at the A801 and the A803. Finally, the southbound entry slip road from the M5 at junction 6 near Worcester is closed, with traffic diverted to either junctions 5 or 7.
What's a slip road? Anyone?
Well, yes, actually a
Slip
slip road is when the condition has been snowing and it's icy and it's...
Oh, it's not a road off a motorway.
Well, it could be a road,
Is it?
yes, it could be those things, yes, but
Yeah.
the slip that I'm thinking about is, you know, when you slip on a bit of ice.
Oh,
or,
yeah.
If you follow what I mean.
What is a slip road though?
A slip road is if say you were going to Warsaw, let's say, and you see a sign on the road that's saying Warsaw.
Doesn't matter. Tell me off air if the song's coming on. That's a great record. OMD. That's what's it called? Dream of Me. Yeah. Coming up for 1 minute before 8. This is the new single by R.E.M. with the bits in the middle.
Night swimming, recklessness, water deserves a quiet night.
night swimming from automatic with the people, REM. 2.5 minutes after 7. After the coming up between... actually I got the jingle for 8 and 9, but it should be actually 7 and 8, so I can't be bothered to change it, so there you go. Pretend it's 7 and 8. Actually, sing 7 and 8 on the thing, okay? Right? That thing then. Sing 7 and 8, okay? Gotta sing 7 and 8, right. Anyway, weather after the next song, which will please Sybil. And then we'll be meeting our guest producer for this morning. 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. 3 minutes past 7. All together, coming up between 8 and 9. Yes, we'll have Sybil with the travel and weather news.
On the travel front, there are improvements on the A921 in Kilcuddy. There are still possible delays mid-Glamorgan in Bridgend on the A4064. Lane closures are possible, so add extra time to your journey. Finally, in Cambridge, the A11 is closed in both directions after an accident. Repairs have resulted in single-lane traffic. On the weather, cloudy in eastern England, showers in north and west Scotland and Wales. Lows around 16, that's 61. The high goes up to 20, that's 68. Here you are, Ron.
A report says men are more interested in keeping their body in shape. Now more men are on diet than women, which were formerly seen as rubbish. The Mississippi River is now at a record high, causing major floods in St. Louis. It is 47 foot above normal. Many people don't know basic first aid. Dealing with everyday injuries cause many people problems.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. We're going to be hippity hop, hang dang doody, etc. in the next.
Wow.
It's excellent. In the next hour, we're going to have music from Ace of Base, Beats International, Pet Shop Boys, Deacon Blue, Levelers, and a bit of Gene Pitney and Mark Almond. Next, starts off really quickly. A little song from Ron after this, if you want, and also Shakademus and Pliers and the usual weather, travel, and headline news as well. 5.5 minutes after 7. Weather next.
Something's got a hold of my heart, keeping my...
Let's sing along to this record with the echo microphone. Anyone? No?
Yeah, we will.
Where is it? Echo microphone's over there. Scarlet for me. No. Well, you can get it for the last chorus then, okay? Which is coming in. You can't hear it, can you? Well, actually, Sybil's got the headphones and the microphone. Oh, yeah, Sybil can do it, yeah. Oh, Rod's actually miming to this thing, so... ready? Go on. See, bring it out so you can hear into the mic.
Mum, I don't know the words. Something's got a hold of my hand, in a wonderful land. La 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 da
Right. There you go, that's quite enough of that. Sybil's ready for the travel. The weather actually now. Really late with this. Gene Pitney and Mark Almond, #1 hit in 1989. Something's got a hold of my heart. It's 1FM. With the breakfast show weather coming up to 10 after 7. Here's Sybil with the weather.
Looking at the satellite pictures, still lots of cloud over the country at the moment. We are getting appearing at the moment over the eastern part of England and Scotland, and there are going to extended other places during the day. So we have got a definite improvement on yesterday. It was that.
Go on.
Now, looking through northern and western parts of Scotland, well, I'm afraid you are going to be fairly cloudy there, and there will be some showery rain, but there won't be anywhere near as many showers as we thought yesterday. So at least there is a little bit of better news now. We've got a chance of a shower in other parts of the country today, more particularly down the western coast, but they are going to be few and far between, with most places staying dry, especially the eastern coast. In the south and in the east, there's going to be a little bit more sunshine around, and in fact it is quite a nice start to the morning. In the southern counties, lows around 16, that's 61. The high today gets up to 20, that's 68.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, this is 1FM, and it's me for Simon Mayo, and Sybil's reading the news. Actually, Sybil's reading the weather and travel, and Rod's reading the news, and guest producer today. Please welcome today's guest producer. Yes, he's here. He's top American insurance company executive.
Good morning, Richard.
Right, and who are you?
I'm Calvin Skunk from Slap It, Rabbit and Run Insurance Company.
So you must be having a lot of claims made against you with all these floods in America.
Yes, of course. We're devastated by the disaster and the terrific loss of personal property and possessions that may have left thousands of people homeless. Sadly, though, we won't be paying out a single cent to any of our clients insured with us. Well, our policies only cover, quite clearly, true flood damage, and not the kind of river leakage we're currently seeing with the Mississippi. After all, a flood is a flood, and a leak is a leakage.
As we all know. Yeah.
As you all know, fair's fair.
Yeah, that's very fair. So you're not going to pay out a single cent?
I just said, Richard, we cover river leakage.
And this counts as river leakage?
This is river leakage and not a flood.
Well, what's the name of your insurance company?
I said, I've told you before, it's Slap It and Rabbit and Run.
Always reliable. Always reliable. They make a drama out of a crisis.
We'll do a good deal on your car.
Really, what happens if I smash it up?
Well, sadly, you won't be able to claim because, well, I'll think of something later.
What a useful man to have around.
Okay, Richard, nice to talk to you.
Ace of Base, all that she wants at 14 after 7. It's the breakfast show, etc.
What we've got here is
Richard Starkey for 1FM.
if you want to have a good time, forget it.
Late for headline news with Rod Mackenzie. Here he is.
A report says men are more interested in keeping their body in shape. Now, more men are in diet than women, which were formerly seen as wimpish. The Mississippi River is now at a record high, causing major floods in St. Louis. It is 47 feet above normal. Many people don't know basic first aid. Dealing with everyday injuries cause many people problems. A recent survey says that most people would like to be like the Queen Mum or Jimmy Savile when they are old. That don't want to be shot includes Victor Meldrew, Lady Thatcher and John Major. Finally, a new soap is to hit our television screens. It's called Abomination Street. It's set in Coventry and will feature many scenes of people getting their heads kicked in by rugby types at dark outside nightclubs. Well, that's the headline news at 1FM.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. Over to you.
They've nicked bits of this from the Orb, I think, haven't they? Anyway, I think they have, I think they have as well, yeah. Off Little Fluffy. Actually, I should have played Little Fluffy Clouds because it's a class track. Quality music.
Cloud.
Yeah. Good song. I'll put that on one of the good quality tapes I do. That'd be good. 19 after 7. Sports news is coming up next after the Pet Shop Boys. Double Good to Me, number 1 in 1990, but beats International in Leighton. Isn't it? Yes, it was, yeah. How do you know that?
Well, you just told me.
Alright. Easy way to get out of that one, Rod. We'll let it finish, then we're going to do another Shakademus and Pliers. But it's not going to be Pliers.
Tank fly, boss walk, jam,
Right, here we go.
nitty-gritty. You're listening to the boy from the big bad city. This is jam
20 after
hot.
7. Shakademus and Hacksaw through Sheet of Plywood. Carry on, carry on. What's yours? What's yours? Looks like, you know, mouse being savaged or something. Shakademus and savaged mouse. That's I mean, Shakademus and wire cutters.
Wire cutters.
Yeah.
Clip, clip.
Can I hear you?
Clip, 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 clip.
That's right.
Clip, clip,
Yeah.
clip, clip, clip.
Right, what's next? Sports news? Yep. Sports news is next.
Sports news,
Yeah.
Gene.
After the Pet Shop Boys. Pet Shop Boys on 1FM.
The name's Radio 1, BBC Radio 1. Licensed to broadcast Moneypenny.
It's good that. Anyway. Ah, what? Actually, Rod's dancing around with a Radio 1 signed cap on. And with the Echo microphone. Anyway, let's read the sports news before I run out of music. 100 metres champion Linford Christie is going to meet his great rival Carl Lewis a week on Friday. The race will take place in Gateshead at the Vauxhall International meeting. Lewis didn't take part in the 100 metres at Barcelona Games last summer, and since Christie's famous victory, the two men haven't met over this distance. Both will be eager to gain a psychological advantage as they prepare for the World Championships in Stuttgart next month. Neil Ruddock will officially become a Liverpool player today. The central defender has resolved his financial dispute with Spurs, which put the £2.5 million move on hold. Nigel Clough's move from Nottingham Forest to Liverpool has cost the Anfield club just over $2.25 million. The fee was decided by a tribunal. Forest want nearly $3 million for Clough, which isn't worth a couple of $100,000. Coventry expert Rob Mackenzie is going to tell us about Coventry's latest signings, aren't you, Rod? Rod, tell us about Coventry's latest signings.
Well, they have signed rather an old player.
Yeah. Mick Harford.
Mick
and a couple of naff defenders.
And a couple of naff defenders, yeah.
Here's levellers, anyway.
But I think that...
That's the levellers quick blast of Belarus at 26, coming up to 27 after 7. Rod and Sybil want to do a signing off song using the Echo microphone, and I might join in with a bit of the accordion. So they're going to start singing now.
What
okay?
song?
Any song. I don't mind what. Sing your party piece.
We went strolling along on moonlight day.
Carry on.
You could hear the people sing,
They seem to say. You know that, don't you?
Anyway, thank you very much indeed for listening. With a bit of luck, I'll be back tomorrow. And anyway, thanks to Rob Mackenzie for coming in this morning.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Thank you,
fine.
Richard. Have a nice evening.
Yeah. Thanks to Sybil as well for doing a bit on the travel and weather.
Lovely. When do we
Yeah.
get the money?
Well, I'll send a check in the post, or I'll give you a Radio 1 t-shirt or something.
Okay.
Okay, finishing with Deacon Blue, current single, Hang Your Head.